bending the rules of math. But that's what math enables us to do, is to make expressions that we need to go other places. I think it's fantastic. But thank you for the explanation here. Remember square roots. I'll do a couple examples on the board just so you might remember them, you might not. It depends on how much math you had and when. The square root of 9 is 3. You got it, Teresa. Because 3 times 3 is 9. The square root of 16 is 4. Because 4 times 4 equals 9. Now, these are the only times you're going to want to be using on this one, right? And to bring back Aubrey, to bring back your point again, I'm not trying to pick on you, but suppose you get into a situation where you have too many 4s. Like you get an answer, but you got an extra 4. You see how you can use this one?
Why does it equal 9?
Why does 4 times 4 equals 9?
Yeah, 4 times 4 is not 9.
Jeez, Sean. Silly.
I was testing you.
Really bended the
You all
rules.
passed.
Yeah.
You all
I
passed.
make my own rules.
Because I was already thinking about this. You can make 2 4s into 1. Look at this. Square root of 4 times 4 equals 4.
I don't get what you're talking about here.
What am I talking about here?
What are you talking about?
Did you get the...
You can place 2 or more 4s next to each other to make 44 or 4. So remember on the first page, when I put all 4 4s next to each other, it just made the number 4,444? I'm talking about that. You could still do that if you want to. Like if you want to use the number 44 as part of your, so for example,
So like this.
44 divided by, I love this, so that's 44 divided by 4. Oh!
Wouldn't that be 5?
Oh! That's perfect, because it's 4 minus 4, that's gorgeous. No, that's perfect, because look, 44 divided by 4 is 11. Plus 4 is 15, minus 4 is 11.
Oh my god.
That's pretty damn clever, that is damn clever.
That's 5. That's even an extra 4.
No, don't you dare say that! Don't you dare say that! It's clever shit! I love it! That is awesome! That is great. What Claire just figured out, just FYI, she's figured out if she gets done... Oh shit, no you didn't. You used 24s.
I told you.
I got so excited, I thought you had it. I got so excited.
That's what I'm
Damn! No, she can't do it. She used 5 4s. Damn. So you have to figure out how can you do it with only 4? Oh, I got so happy with that. That made me so happy. 44 divided. You totally can! Oh my god, I just told you how to do it right here. Look at this. You can figure it out with that. You can totally do it with that trick, using the square root for Maya. You figured it out? You just thought of it, didn't you? You can do it. But what I just circled. I was just, when you all were yelling at me because I wrote 4 times 4 equals 9, I was trying to imply that if you end up with too many 4s, because the problem with your solution now is you get to the plus 4, but you can't cancel it, right? So it would be really nice to just have 44 divided by 4 and be done, because then you're at 11. But that means you have 1 extra 4 you have to deal with, right? Because you didn't use that 4th 4. This is a way of getting 2 4s into 1. Stare at that.
Wait, square root of 4 times 4?
Because it's in 4 times 4 is 16. So you can write 16 as 4 times 4.
But you're still not using all 4 of your 4s.
Claire would, because she put 44 in the numerator, right? She's gotten to a point where she has this, 44 divided by 4, and she's like, I have 1 more 4 I have to deal with. My answer is write that 4 using 2 4s. Just keep thinking about it. Keep thinking about it. You will see it. I guarantee you'll see it. Dominic, you just saw it. That's good. Yeah. So Claire, very, very clever. Step to work around it. Very, very, very good. Very, very good. And then you can, what's that? That's not all like that. I love this. I love thinking like this. You can also, if you need it, get one that's 4 below 11. Because you did 44 divided by 4 to make 11. Plus 4 is 15. Or minus 4. No, minus 4. If you change that to a minus 4, it wouldn't put you, 44 over 4 would put you back here. What if you then took 4 away from that, where it would put you? I like what you did. Unfortunately, you can, but you can't. You can't use that one.
No.
You can use that one. That's a discussion we're just having right now. So look up there. That's what Claire had written down originally.
This one?
Yes. So you can start with that one and edit it so that it becomes that. Yes. Keep thinking. This is beautiful.
Okay, how do we figure that out?
It's,
How do we?
the problem with that one is,
How do we
that's,
build it?
hang on,
Well, I asked
That's
him,
176.
but, you know, what'd you do?
because you multiply it, right? What do you want to do?
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
So look at
That's what you want to do, right? Does that make sense? Because without that slash, as Elisa was saying, that's a multiplication of 44 times 4, which I think gives you 176. But you want to divide those numbers, yeah?
I heard a little bit, but it
That's okay. It does make sense. And it should make your hair a little tiny bit, just a little tiny bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yes, except that equals 32. Do you see why?
Okay, so pretty much.
So what's that equal
You
to?
have to try to find the number with
Beautiful. What's that equal
fours.
to? Oh, put it side by side like that. What do you need between?
Yeah, so you have to like try to find
Beautiful.
what four.
Love it! I'm so glad you had the idea for square root line. That's very, very good.
Yeah.
It's coming in handy all over the room now. What don't you get?
And that's when
So what you're going to be doing is something like these.
four.
But you want to be able to get, instead of me telling you what to do, I'm asking you to make up your
Yeah, pretty
own
much.
that equals these numbers.
And then
So for example, this one here, it equals 1. So that's one if you want, you could use that for number 1. But then you also have to figure out how to make 2.
oh, what's that?
4. Make as many as you can. You got plenty of time to work on these.
So I did four.
With only 4 fours, exactly.
I was putting it in.
Well, that's, see, now, I think Claire asked about this too, and I think what might be confusing is you can put 3 4s next to each other like that, but then you still have to use the 4th 4. That's right, but then you'd have to use a 4th 4 somewhere else, like divided by 4 plus 4 times 4 or something like that. All I'm saying is you can put numbers right next to each other if you want to. Like you can use the number, like Claire, for example, used 44. She put a 44 in her solution, but that means she still has to use 2 more 4s somewhere. Does that make, is that you buying that? You don't have to put like pluses and minuses and multiplications and divisions in
Well, I
between
did.
each 4.
Something like square.
You can put them right up next and then use that as a full number if you want.
Yeah. A lot of them.
Does that make sense? That's all I'm saying. You don't have to, but you can if you choose to. Fair?
So
Okay, good.
4
Good.
square root.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to
The
do
evil
my.
laugh, that was wonderful. The evil cackle of
I was
success.
sitting here trying to figure this out. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep wandering. You're all kicking ass, taking names. I love what I'm saying. Love what I'm saying.
It's on 1%.
So is that a multiplication or a subtraction? That's 4 times 4 is 16. Is 20 divided by 4 is,
See, that doesn't make sense.
oh, that's fine. But you got 17 out?
Yeah, look, I'll show you.
Show me, because it could, it's probably orders. Go ahead, 4. You did 4 divided by 4, or you did 4 times 4.
Divided by 4.
Okay, so do that again. Let me watch you again.
4 times 4.
Okay.
It should be
Your
5.
phone, no, it's right, but you've written it, your phone's smarter than I thought it was. Your phone, shit, that's crazy actually.
I like how my
Can I- I wanna
phone's
shit-
like, you can't do this.
Can I divide by 0? These phones are damn smart. Can we use this as an example, Nat? Because Nat just discovered
Do
something.
not pass go. Do not clip 200.
I'm gonna turn what's called, this is a thing called a document camera up here. Nat, I'm gonna turn it on in a second. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring your phone up and do it on here so you can see on the
Please
board.
stop it.
Okay.
What it just, yeah, I think goosebumps. What just happened was the phone inserted order of operations that you didn't mean for it to insert. So I'm simultaneously impressed and appalled that it did that. Let me get this thing fired up, okay? And then we're gonna switch it off, or switch it.
Was I wrong? for that?
No, you can get 17, but not the way you've written it. The way your phone did it is not how you read. Now the way you typed it into your phone is what you wrote. Like you wanted it to be that way.
Yeah.
But what the phone did is actually a totally different set of operations. Let's come back to that. we're gonna take a look here. Okay, I have to switch over to Doc Cam. Okay, here we go. Yay! Okay, would you mind bringing your phone up here, Natalie? I want everybody pause for a second. Natalie just discovered something, and this is kind of news to me. This is kind of mind-boggling, honestly, that this happened. She's going to show you how she made 17. Okay, everybody sees her phone. Okay, so here you go. Go and talk through that if you don't mind.
All right, so
All clear, beautiful.
what was the
4
4
times 4
4
plus
plus 4
4 divided
by 4.
4.
Now, it should get
You're going to hit
20
equals, right?
divided by 4 equals 5.
So,
right?
so
But
she's thinking it should be equal to 5. She's going to press enter, and it comes up 17. Now,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either, but I know what it's doing. And that's why I don't like it. Natalie, thank you for this.
yeah, no problem.
This is so badass.
It is what it isn't.
That's a loaded question.
It is what it
We're going
isn't.
to discuss why.
Hashtag.
We're going to make it right. Now, here's the thing. If you think about what Natalie just did, it's what she was saying when she was talking through it that I think is the most important. So the first thing she said was, she said, take 4, multiply it by 4. Simple enough. That's 16, right? 4 times 4. I'm going to keep writing it though instead of calling that 16. Then she told me to add 4 to that. And then you hear what she said at that point? She said, that is now 20. Yes, that is now 20. And then she said, now I'm going to divide that by 4. So when she says that, she means 20. Which means, if I'm going to divide that, which equals 20 by 4, what do I have to put around all of that? I have to do that divided by 4, which is indeed 20. Written a different way, excuse me, 20 by 4 is 5. Written a different way, it would look like this. 4 times 4 plus 4 all over 4. Still equals 20. I'm here to tell you. Yeah, you see it, Maya. You see it? You can make 17, but not like this. So the way when Natalie pushed the buttons on her calculator, she pushed them like that. If you evaluate that, what do you get? That's 17! Because that's 16, that's 1. But the calculator assumed something when she was pushing those buttons. You see what I'm getting at here? It's almost like when she went 4 times 4, and then she hit plus, it said 16. Yes, it took her ordering away and gave it its own ordering. In other words, it assumed she put all these things in. I don't know how it would have made that assumption, because you were building the expression as you went. Now I want to kind of mess around with the one on my phone and see if I can do the same
Do
thing.
you have an iPhone?
I don't, I have an Android, but I can't imagine they're that
It
different.
might be an iPhone thing.
It might be. It might
Maybe
very well be.
that's
That's
why we
so
don't have
weird
much
to
for
me.
iPhones.
I think it's plugged in on my.
That is creepy. Say that again.
Should I plug that in on my Android?
Yeah, give it a shot. Yeah, do exactly what she did. So all clear.
I did.
You did it all clear. Okay. So just do. So how? Were you hitting equals each time, Nat, or no? You were just going. See, there's the difference.
Let's see if
Yeah, do it. Do it. So do 4 times 4 equals. Okay. Now do plus 4. Now equals. It's going to do the right thing. Now divided by 4. It's going to say it's 5. Yeah. So there's something.
Let me try it on my phone.
Yeah, try it first. So so what you did was you did 4 times 4, and then you hit plus, right? Which is essentially the same thing as hitting equals. So when you hit plus 4, and then you hit divide by, and you get 17. I think I might know what's going on. Maybe I still don't like it, Maya.
Well, I didn't push equals at all.
No, she's not either. She's putting it all on. I think what's happening. I don't think I like this, but what's happening is when you hit this 4. So in steps, you hit a 4, you hit times, you hit 4. At this point, it hasn't evaluated anything. Then when you hit the plus sign next, Nat, it tells you this much so far is equal to 16.
It separates it.
It separates it out. Then you put a 4. It has not added that 4 to that 16 yet. When you hit divide by, the little brain inside its calculator goes, ooh, this is division. Remember that plus she hit earlier? This division has to happen before that plus. So then when you hit 4 here, it finally evaluates that and finishes the expression. I don't like the fact that it does that, but
My
that's,
calculator even did it.
it even did it. But you put the whole thing in, that's different though.
Wow.
That's different. That's okay, Dominique, I want to see that. That's what Aubrey's calculator was doing too. I want to see that because that's the correct way of writing it without parentheses.
I mean, yeah.
Yes, without parentheses. But that's different than entering it one number at a time. Right? One number at a time, it's almost like it's reading our
Yeah, I do
mind.
number and then operation, number, operation.
Yes.
Forward.
It's acting like an old school RPN calculator, which I know he's used those in 30, 40 years.
This one is supposed to
I
have
got one for
parentheses.
nine.
That one is supposed to?
No, is it?
I don't know. Let's, what would this be
When I
equal to?
entered 17 when I
Believe it or
entered
not,
like-
this is,
Okay.
yeah, this is the same as that we just did.
Yeah, the 4 divided by. Yeah.
But these are the same thing. You just wrote 4 divided by 4 three different ways.
Yeah.
Yay, math.
4 divided by 4, 1. So
Yay, math.
But then how did it equal 20? When we
Yeah,
were-
5
when we
plus
were
4 is
doing
9.
it, equals
I wrote the wrong numbers, but I was supposed to put 5. I remember how I put equals 20. No, in my mind, I was doing this is equal to 20.
There's a way to do it around this.
This is equal to 20, and then I hit divided by 4 and set it equal to 20 because I'm an idiot. Because I did the same thing over here. I'm sorry. Well, I get excited and I start talking too fast. Sorry, Kelly. I hope this is in any way useful for you. It's a camera running for 2 straight hours with a lot of weird dialogue and me swearing. Claire, answer that question.
I don't know if it's 12. I thought that worked, but I was
You got 5. You got 4, 5, or 5 fours again. So you did. Okay, so you did. I like this. You got 44 divided by 4, so you made 11.
And then I was like, that's just 1.
No, I got you. I got you. So let's think about it a different way. 12 is 3 times 4. Can you make 3 using 4 fours? The answer is yes. Because we did it from a question Aubrey asked earlier in a different context. Walk with me, walk with me. Follow my man bun. I'm pointing at it right now. You see that?
Yes.
Remember how she made 3 out of 3 fours? Right here? That's 3, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, this was an exponent, 4 to that power.
Yeah.
But instead of going 4 to the 3rd power, not just 4 times 3. So this is equal to 3, right?
Yes.
But you don't want to go 4 to the 3rd power.
Yeah.
Write it as 4 times 3.
What?
Erase all that. Look at what Aubrey talked us through over there. Aubrey, we're using your idea from earlier to solve 12. If you edit this a little bit, you can actually make 12 out of it.
So there's 4 fours here, right?
You see, you see it?
Maybe.
You see it? Maybe. Play with it, keep playing. And remember, take your break if you need it. We're now past kind of break time, so if you need to take a break, you take a break, okay? Man, hi.
I did that, but I did.
Oh, but you didn't use your 4th floor. Man, she's so pissed at me right now. She's so pissed at me right now. She's like, God damn it, I got 12, but I didn't use a 4. It reminds me of. It's totally fine. Yeah, that's the challenge of it, man. The challenge of it is we have to use all. Okay, so you got 4 plus. That's gorgeous, except you only use 3 fours again. I see how you put equals 4. That's clever, but that doesn't count.
Okay, so you can do that one.
So let's think though. Think about all the tricks you can do, right? Think of it as all the tricks. And anytime you put a 4 divided by 4, that's equal to 1, right?
Or the square root of 4.
Or the square root of 4 is equal to 2. There's lots of things you can do to get the trickiness. Aubrey's trick, which I thought was badass. 4 minus 4 over 4. That's 3. That's badass right there.
That's only 3 fours.
Are you mocking me? No, I love that, but Claire only needed 3 fours. That's the whole thing, right? She already had she wanted to do a 4 times 3. So she had a 4. She needed 3 more to make 3. She got it. Thanks to Aubrey.
So, like, oh, you might be able to, but like.
You don't have to do the same way. I'm excited. You know what I'm most excited about? I'm excited to see how many different ways we make these numbers. Right, Anjali? I'm coming. You just give me a second. I'll be right there. You gotta use, yeah, unfortunately, that only uses one of them. So you gotta somehow come up with 3 more of
Yeah,
them.
that one too.
You see what I'm getting at? Yeah.
Oh, so you just did. Oh.
Yeah. Keep working, go great, go great.
I've done it before.
You used 4 4s, but you didn't. Can I see what you're talking about?
What does she got?
Number 4, this one right here?
Because she just did 4 times.
Leanne tried this crap too.
I don't like this.
You know what? Remember, folks,
I don't, it's
it's why don't you make
But we have
angry? That's not what I don't want anger. I don't expect you to get all of these.
Because.
You will, but not in class today. So here's the deal, Anjali, this is gonna follow us into next week. We're gonna get as many as a class, and we're gonna regroup in probably about half an hour. And we're gonna get as many as we can together, as many different ways as we can together. Then there's gonna be a few that we can't get. Those you'll go home with in your homework. Does that make sense? So don't be angry. Just keep schlepping away and attacking it in different ways. Hi.
So I did that one, but I came up with,
Has he? Yeah.
but I came up with 2.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's an ugly. So, and Teresa, may I? So if you're using square roots, totally fine, right? I encouraged you to use square roots. The problem with square roots, remember the examples we were doing with square roots? Square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3, square root of 16 is 4. Notice how I only used certain numbers. I didn't use other numbers to take square roots of. Like, for example, I didn't do the square root of 5. Did you notice that? Do you know why I skipped over 5? There is one, but it's what's called an irrational number. In other words, these numbers are called perfect squares because 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5 is 25. The number multiplied by itself that equals 5 is not pretty. It's like 2.3. So that's the problem with square roots. They work great for turning a 4 into a 2, but they don't work so well for turning other things into other things. That make sense, Teresa? Yes. I only brought the square root up because Maya made me do it. I'm kidding. Yes. You shouldn't be mad about it. I only brought it up. I never intended for you to use it on this first day, and it's totally fine if you are, because like I said, I'm going to have you allowed to use it on day 2, which is the homework anyway. So why not get used to using it now? It's totally fine, yeah? Totally down. Love it. Love it. Thank you, my friend. Like what I'm saying, you know what's fun? You all have different ones. Like you're all over the map, which is so wonderful. Because what we're going to do eventually is regroup and get as many different ideas as we can for these numbers. And it looks like not everybody is doing the same exact ones. Like I think some of you tried to start at 1 and work your way down, and they got pissed. And we're like, forget this. I'm just going to joke around and find the ones I can. You know? Like Brittany, she stumbled upon a solution that got her 17. And then realized, oh, I can get 7 from this also if I just do it a different way. If I change one sign, I can get something else. Badass. That's kind of the point of the exercise. Thank you, friends. You get fly on the wall. Oh, look at that little bastard. He's back. It's the same numbers that we had from that, except with the subtraction sign versus addition. Very good. Oh, I like it. I like it. What if you... Oh, you did. I was gonna say, what if you change it to a plus? You did, and you got 12. All over it. And 100. See, now I'm trying to think. 121. Is 11. You got me thinking now. Can we make 121 out of 4 fours and then take a square root of it to get 11? I got my own problem. I'm gonna work on it up here.
Try.
You already got 11, so you don't have to worry about it. You're going with that one. I'm going to mess it up a little bit. No, I can't do it that way, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, works.
Ah, the sound of math.
You know how to square root on one of these things?
I can probably figure it out with you. Let's find out. I bet you it's a second. It's that one right there. So you'd put the number in you want to take the square root of first, like 16, and then you'd hit second, and then that button. Oh no, I just lied to you. You put that first. That first.
Okay.
Then the number you're taking the square root of. and then you get your 4.
Ah,
And there you go. That's different than most of the ones I see. Most of the ones I see, you put the number first, then the square root.
yep.
Not the square root, then the
Scientific ones are weird.
Yeah, they can be.
Will this satisfy the requirement for 105, this calculator?
I will give you a calculator called Excel.
Ah,
So yes, it will.
okay.
Smart ass answer to your question. Yes, it will. We use Excel almost universally in that class. We've used it every day since for the past 6 because it's so much better calculator than these things. What's up, Peter?
Is it possible to do 19?
I'm not wrong. You got the rest? Check you out, Beastmaster.
I think I did for
I thought I got 19, but then I used one extra 4, so it was
Got one
like-
extra 4. Say that again. I didn't catch
I
that.
put an extra 4 in this one too.
Well. Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I'm so busy checking your math. I'm not checking the number of 4s. I got it. So you got 11 by using 5 4s. You pulled a Claire on me. I missed it. It's beautiful. I love it, Claire. I'm giving you props, my friend. I'm giving you props. I loved it. Yes. Yes.
So this one is one, so this one's one. Because I did 44 about that one.
Right. How many 4s did you use? That's 3 4s, right? 1, 2, 3. Well, I asked you where the 4th one is. You have to use 4 4s.
Well, this one first, right?
Well, that's okay. I'm not saying you have to keep doing that one. You can jump over to the other one. That's totally fine. But now here's the deal. I want you to think about what
Yeah.
you can get. It would be really nice to be able to take one of those 4s away and put in a number that's equal to 4, but used as 2 4s. Because that would take care of your problem, right? Say that again. Well, that's 2 2s, not 2 4s. But what is 4 times 4? What is 4 times 4? 16. Okay? But what's the square root of 16? It's 4. So if you write that where that 4 is, you've satisfied my stupid rule about using 4 4s, haven't you? Haven't you? Haven't you? You have, right? You've satisfied my dumb rule. My rule said that you have to use 4 4s. Yes, exactly, like that. That's what, talk to Leanne, because she's...
I don't know, you do 4 divided by 0.4.
0 times 4.
Yes, but you wrote 4 using 2 4s. Just like you could write 1 using 2 4s, or 2 using 1 4.
So that is just like.
That's legit, that's equal to 4, right? Absolutely. All
Why
right.
do you use 0.4?
Ooh!
Because for 11, 4 divided by 0.4
You're getting
plus 4
salt.
divided by 4 is 11.
Yeah.
Here's why I don't think so. What is 0.4?
4 times 4.
0.4 is 4.
Mathematically, what is 0.4?
1. Isn't it? Wait.
What is 0.4 mathematically? Say it a different way.
So 44.
Say it, Lindsay. It's 4/10. It's actually equal to that number. It's not a 4 anymore. It's a fraction of 4.
It's just hard because 4 is an even number and 11 is totally not.
I know. But here's not, Aubrey, I'm not saying you can't generate a 4/10 in there. You could, if you could make a 10, could you make a 10 already? You made a 10 already, right?
Yeah, 4 divided by
Oh,
4.
it needed, unfortunately, it needed all 4 4s to make a 10. Could you make 10 with fewer than 4 4s? Just answer this out loud. I have no idea if you can or not.
Wait,
My brain's still trying to work.
yeah, because 4 times 4 times 4 minus.
It's,
No,
that's 64.
no, I meant 4.
Can we use
Trying to get 4 times 3. 4 plus 4 plus 4.
Okay, it's 12.
Minus, no, because that's 5 4s. I was going to say minus 4 over 4.
Okay. Maybe we just don't use the 0.4.
Don't use it?
That's what I'm thinking. It might be too much trouble than it's worth. I'm guessing.
Okay.
Is that fair? You buy that? Good. Like a subtraction sign?
Like, can you multiply by anything?
Oh, I don't see why not, because that really is technically subtraction. That's really an operation if you think about it. So which one are you working on?
Oh, we were just wondering.
Oh, so give me an example of how, because you've been using these all the time, like that right there technically is multiplying by a negative. So that's legit. Yeah. Because it's still a 4 with an operation attached to it.
But that's okay.
That's okay, because the 4/10 problem is you're dividing by another number to get 4/10. That's why it's not really 4 fours anymore. It's
But if I did 4 squared, would that use 2
Hey,
by
I
4?
told you.
4 squared, yes, but you would write it as 4 times 4. But yes, it would use 2 of your 4s.
Okay.
Now, what's up?
Are we doing this for the rest of the class?
I'm trying to get a feel. I didn't know how this would take. So far, it looks like we're about 75% of the way through it. So we need some more time. So I don't think so, because y'all are doing it a lot quicker than I thought you would, which is great. We're going to regroup in about maybe 5 or 6 minutes.
Okay.
I'm going to grab some stopwatches. I'll be right back. I think. Could be wrong. No. Right back. Stopwatches are next week. We'll do that. Baby, how are you?
Trust me, it's always clear on the other side. Gotcha. No, 16. Yeah, okay. Right. 8 times 4.
4 divided by the square root of 4. So 44.
This would be 22, and then you got 4, you subtract 4, and then you go.
Yes, maybe not, you have to think about something upstairs. Thank you for saying that. Earlier, maybe 4. Thank you for that. I will certainly print something for you. How we doing? 3 left, 3 left. Couple left, few left, few left. Few left, we're getting there, we're getting there.
I'm stuck on this one.
Yeah. Which one? Oh, 19, the infernal 19, 11, and 13, yeah. 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 How many 3s, how many 4s did you use? Damn it. What? You have 1 extra 4, so can we can make 4 out of 2 4s. Look, remember this? Remember this?
Oh.
That equals 4. So if you've got 1 too many 4s in your answer, just replace one of the 4s with the square root of 4 times 4. Done.
Work on 9.
I'm not sure if she buys that. She's like, hey, it seems very arbitrary. Not sure I like that very much, Sean. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. It's a 2, isn't it? Could you write it at? I'm trying to see if we do write it 4 times. You write it as 4 times 4. That's 16. But then that uses up one of your 4s too, doesn't it? No, because that's a 2. I see what you're saying, though. What I'm trying to think of is, can we get that? So what Claire just figured out, this is actually pretty badass. She's almost there. She wrote 4 squared plus 4 minus 4 over 4, which equals 19. The problem is that damn 2. That breaks the rule, right? So that's clever, though, Claire. I like that a whole lot. If we could just get the 2 out of there, which of course creates its own issues, right? Because getting the 2 out, but still making it equal 16, you have to do 4 times 4.
I think you should allow that exponent as 1 4. Just saying, because you could use the square root of 4. So, just to be fair.
So, oh, I see what you said. Okay, so what Albert just said, it doesn't solve the problem, but you could also write it as 4 to the square root of 4 power. We still have to deal with this, though. That's still too many 4s, right?
No, I think that you should allow the use of the squared as 1 4.
No.
That was the most dad I've ever heard.
My dad used to be like,
Awesome.
no.
I know, that's why I said that's a dad thing right there. Every dad.
Every request I've heard today has had very, very good intentions behind it. Using the square root. And I'm gonna give you my rationale for all of them. Okay, Aubrey. Here's my rationale for all of them, not just because I'm picking and choosing.
Oh.
Square root is an operation. It's like adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So it feels legit to me.
So hold on.
I'm stopping. Go ahead.
If you could use the square root of 4, does that mean you could use that 2 more times? Since you're only using half of one of the 4s? Yes.
It's only half because it's 4, though. If it was a square root of 9, it'd be a third.
But you can't use them.
No, I know, but your half is only referenced with the fact that I almost made this thing 4 7s project and not the 4 4s project. But I used 4 intentionally because it was the smallest perfect square besides 1. So unfortunately.
I'm
no.
just
I
stuck.
keep telling you no today. I feel terrible. It feels like I'm just.
stuck, and I'm trying to.
Good for you. We're gonna figure this out. Like I said, we're gonna regroup soon. We're gonna what?
I thought I had it, and I had 5.
Which one are you working on?
Where'd you get to 4?
Damn 13. Okay, all
I was
right.
gonna do 4 of
It's all good.
That one worked.
Now, like I said, keep schlepping through.
Just need to figure out.
When we get to a point, I'm gonna stop us, and we're gonna start. How about 5 more minutes? 5 more minutes. We get to that 5. We start working on together on the board. And we'll get as many different ways as we can to do each one. How's that sound?
No, that's fine.
Sound good?
No.
You're buying, sorry? You're buying. She's okay. I'm gonna, you make me. Yeah. You can use 4 to the 4th, but that's only 2 4s.
That's 2.
And that's a huge number, right? 4 to the 4th is gonna be 256, which is not a problem. Actually, I mean, if you need 60, actually, you can get 16 with that. You can. Watch this.
They're prime numbers.
You just said 4 to the 4th.
You have to do something minus 1/4.
Okay. So 4 to the 4th.
I mean,
That's 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. You think of it that way, right? But you can write it like this, so it's only 2 4s. Okay, so that's 256.
So 40.
If you could just somehow
genius.
get rid of 2 of those 4s, do you see how they're multiplied? What undoes multiplication? Division. So if you could divide this by 2 4s multiplied together, that would take care of 2 4s each, and you'd be left with 16.
Oh, you
So all you gotta do is write it like this,
Did what?
and that is 16. See what you just
Yeah, 'cause
did?
that makes mine.
Boom!
Yeah.
It just sucks because
I say again, boom!
prime numbers.
Come on, say it 3 times.
And everybody's trying to get really complex with number 16.
Here's 14.
Yeah, see, those are the only 3.
I don't get it.
And the worst part, I'm pretty sure on the front, yep, I did it right there in example 5, 4 plus 4 plus. The reason why, Leanne asked me, can I use 4 to the 4th? And I said, that's a huge number. I'm like, oh, but wait a minute. And then we just went with it. I never even stopped to say,
No, I heard other people
Don't
ask
do
me
that.
about the 16 too, and I'm like,
just add the 4s together. All right, Dominique. I think it's the best part is that I use that as an example on the front page, and then it completely flushed out of my mind since then. Slowly. I'm right back.
There's no prime, like, pink.
I know, I should have known that. I just realized that was, okay, so that one's wrong.
Mhm. She'll probably show like before you. For real, it's like, I'm not good.
Dude, you realize how much I would just be like, oh no.
Yep. Super
I would just be like, no, peace. Like at least me, I'm like, what'd you get? And I look at it and I even.
All right, rockers.
To make sure.
Shall we regroup? What are we thinking?
Yes.
We'll give us more time to work on it. What do you think? We'll leave it up to y'all.
Just a few more.
A few more minutes? Perfect. Keep schlepping.
I want to get all of them before you tell me.
Okay, that's why I'm stopping. That's why I asked. Should we regroup?
Oh.
Yes.
What?
Does anybody have 18, 19, or 20?
I have 18
and 20.
And please move around the room if you want to. Yeah, you can talk to each other. Talk to each other. Should I stop erasing?
Anybody
I'm sorry.
have
I just realized I'm gonna stop erasing. I can erase later.
I just haven't gotten 13 on 19.
Anybody have 13? You said 13?
13 and 19.
I get 13 or 19.
You guys get 13?
The limit does not exist.
I can't wait to see what y'all do.
Nope. That's
so fun.
What do you have?
Oh,
You're doing freaking awesome!
7.
It was a half an hour ago.
Just sounds.
I was going forward. I'm sorry. What should I put back? I put it all back. What are you gonna put back?
And then my,
I'm sorry. I was clearing the board to talk to regroup, and then you're like, stop. And I was like, I just left back if you needed to.
So okay, because I don't remember.
Damn it! I think it was something like this. Like how many I put like 4 divided by 4 is 1.
Well, it was just mostly the square root.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was, yeah, square root of, well, honestly, most of them don't help you though, because you can't,
So it's a square root.
you can't use a 9. Well, you use a 16. That was the big
I
one.
remember what was up there today.
This, I think this
What's the square root of 44?
is 4.
What you got?
This one might, if this is pissing anybody off, you can also write it as root 4 times root 4, which also equals 4. That, I mean, it still uses 2 4s.
John McBrain.
So,
What you got?
that's enough for you to see what you're doing, Dominique?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll take this out. I'm gonna stop erasing.
because I use this, I use the one that, excuse me, this. So, just like
It's okay.
touching that in.
We're gonna put our heads together here soon, and we're gonna figure these out. That's okay.
Appreciate you.
Yes, absolutely 17. That's the one that Natalie was having issues with her iPhone with, which I love. I wonder, I'll check my phone now. It's on top of that. Let me see if my little calculator.
Because this is a 2 and a 1, so if we can use a 2 and a 1.
Oh, here it is. Okay, so I don't ever use my calculator, so let's see.
4 is the version of 1, so.
Four